Well, dig yourself a hole like that, and it's really hard to overcome, especially in conference. I I mean, 3 for 20 from three. Knew this kind of going in. That this, I mean, that's not what we do. We were 2 for 14 at the half from shooting the three ball, 1 for 6 there in the second half. But our shot selection ends up putting us at a real disadvantage defensively, especially when you're dealing with a team who was 21st in the country in transition. So us allowing them to get long rebounds on 17 different misses just adds to our defensive struggles. And then back-to-back games where, Temple shoots 45% from three. This group shoots 46% from three. But I think a lot of it had to do with our offensive end shot selection that just ends up putting us at a situation, especially with a real quick guard in Jaden Reed, at a real disadvantage. And then they're able to get kick out threes. And I thought there were some bright spots. Corey was a plus, but as you saw, we get outscored 34-11 from the bench. And whenever we went to our bench and had to take Corey out, they could kind of get back in games. But it comes down to, I mean, 3 for 20 from three. That us getting baited into those kind of shots just turn around and leads to a really, really poor defensive performance.
What do you think about the defenses like closing out on some of those 3-point shooters? It felt like they had good looks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't close out on them. You have to fly by. You got to make them put it down. You have to Kango, which is get beside them. And so, like, you can't go up with a hand. I mean, if they had a three on their jersey, they were really good at shooting threes. I mean, number 23 was a 46% 3-point shooter coming into the game, and I thought his looks were clean. Our hand wasn't above the ball. But again, this is a situation where you have good defenses contributing to good offense. I mean, and you have bad offenses contributing to bad defense. And so we're probably going to have to joystick this a little bit more than what we're doing right now. But I just think with the way that people are plugging, the way that they are, it leads to basketball that is advantageous for the opposition.
How much did the difference in energy between them and you guys just shock you to start the first 8 minutes?
Yeah, really disappointed. Really disappointed. Yeah, that was very disappointing.
What was the message there early? I mean, it looked like you were pretty fired up that first media, and what was the message to the
Yeah,
team?
you have to know your team. I just think there's some teams you can be nice with. There's other teams that they need to be challenged more. This is probably way more of a challenge team. I've been around teams where you can kind of talk through stuff and be nice with them. This is not that group. So, unfortunately, it is, and I don't really. It's not really me to be honest with you. Just to constantly, challenge you, but that's the reality of this situation.
With the defense, second straight game, giving up 91. What's got to get better there?
I mean, you got to defend the arc. I mean, 45% at Temple, 46% here. I mean, we're getting to the free throw line, and we need to figure out how much of this is, for instance, on DHOs, we were going over, giving advantage. You have to figure out, we were hoping to solve some one on one issues, just giving one on one in the post. Obviously, just, wasn't able to do that. And, hats off to Jamil Reynolds. He played really well. And was hoping Q could kind of, at least contain that to some degree. He shoots 9 for 12 on he and Mate in between those possessions. But if he's a good enough passer, to where they put shooters out on the court. So I think it's a whole combination of things. I don't think it's just one single thing.
You mentioned the shot selections. How do you go about addressing that and then getting those close looks like you guys want to in the first
Yeah,
place?
yeah, you're gonna have to sub. I mean, when guys take a shot that, again, nothing wrong. I mean, AJ, the shots he took, I thought for the most part, I know he only made 1 for 6, and he's proven that he's a better shooter than that. But it is one of those situations where I think well, you're 3 for 20, and so let's say you're 2 for 14 at the half. What do you think the other coach is telling them? It's like, get even tighter. And you can start to feel it a little bit, like there are a whole bunch of dare shots. And so when you don't have a group that's just got that perimeter shot making ability, in my mind, you got to play a lot faster. And I thought that in the first half, we weren't playing it at a tempo and speed. And then the shots that we were taking, we were just settling. And that stuff comes back and gets you. Shot selection on both ends. The shots you can make them take, the shots that you can get is such a critical part of basketball. And that we didn't do either.
You guys got to 10 that second time late in the second half, and then we saw you pulled out Quincy for that, and they went inside a couple times. Just kind of take us through. You guys were cutting it close, but then they kind of would extend it back out.
Yeah, if you look, both of those situations happened with Corey on the bench. You know, you have 10, you have Corey being able to make, he's got a chance to cut it to 8. Unfortunately, misses both of those free throws. Go down, score. We got to bring him out because you can tell he's being pretty fatigued. And then they go. I mean, you can just look at the box score. I mean, in the 28 minutes that Q plays, we only end up losing by 3. In the 34 minutes that Corey plays, we only end up losing by 3. And so I thought those guys were bright spots. But as the second we went to our bench and took away their energy, just unfortunately, we just didn't have anybody else who could just come through from us off the bench to kind of replace what Corey and Quincy were doing.
In a game like tonight where the physicality was really high and then defensively, had some struggles, does it kind of make Ronnie that much more important getting him back into the lineup?
Ronnie's really important. I would tell you, I think right now the psyche of the team's pretty important. So Ronnie's significant though, but I will tell you that there's a number of things we've got to get better at. And a lot of it has to do with you can't start a basketball game that way.
What do you want to see from the players to respond from this? Like, what is this going to have to be a player-led solution?
I don't know. That one we're about to figure out, right? Because I can tell you, nobody's happy with 10-5. Man, you get 0-2 starting conference. There isn't. Yep, it's not okay. Just telling you, it's not okay.
Is there? I mean, I know you haven't seen the film for this game yet, but is there anything that you're noticing from AAC opponents that offensively they're trying to exploit for you against you guys?
Well, offensively exploit, not necessarily. I would tell you that if you look at, I didn't really see a commonality. I mean, you end up, they shoot 23s. I mean, South Florida shoots 26 threes. I said they, meaning Temple shoots 23s. Some of this can be just, listen, let's just make teams take 2s. But, I mean, we were good. And it's not that players don't want to win. It's not that. Okay, the guys in that locker room want to win. It's that we're going about it the entirely wrong way. And you have to approach this game a certain way. And if you think this is offense oriented, you are going to get tricked. And if you think that there isn't a tie-in between offense and defense, you're going to get tricked. And so do we have to get better defensively? I mean, we only give up 3 offensive boards. Now, a lot of that had to do with them shooting 57% from the field. But I thought defensively, from a rebound standpoint, we were okay. Just being able to retrieve a number of misses. It is understanding the correlation between those two ends, and you have to go about it the right way. And there's an energy that's required. I mean, I can't tell you how much I enjoy just people whose hair is on fire. And that was just not how we played until we dug a hole.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.